Well, hey everyone. It's it's time for quarantine. So apparently there is an issue in my city that just starts at midnight tonight. Whenever I upload this, it'll be during the quarantine, so I have plenty of time on my hands. I'm sure many of you are staying at home, trying to be safe, trying to watch films, or get things done. I'm very, very lucky to have a job where I can transition online. And so I really want to say I'm thankful for all the people who are watching this, who are service workers, or anyone who has to be out in this mess, because it really isn't something that is ideal for a lot of people, especially for people who have to stay at home and aren't really ready for it. And it's all those things, and so it's really crazy. But today I want to share with you my Warner Archive sale. It's the 4 for 44 is what they really call it, I guess. I got 8 films, so I spent about $88 plus tax, obviously. I got films. They came in today, and so I got them right before all this madness happened. And so I want to share that with you today, and there's a few other things I'm going to mention as well as I'm sharing this. By the way, I have not seen any of these films. I'm just bringing this up. But there are films that I have seen recently that I do want to share that have gotten me interested into these films. And so, before I get into that, there's a few that are just, kind of off. They're not themes with the connection, so I'm going to share those with you first. Alright, so the first movie that I picked up is called The Hidden. And so this came out in 1987, and this is a movie that I really don't know much about. I know it's got Kyle MacLachlan, who is in, I can't believe, Twin Peaks, and Dune as well, so he's really worked with David Lynch quite a bit. And so I heard really great things about this. My friend Daniel and a few of my other friends have talked about this movie, so I'm really excited to pick this one up and watch this one. And then the last one, the other one that is not really have a theme connected to it, it's more recent. These are the more recent picks, yeah, the 80s, and then this one's the 90s. The Hudsucker Proxy. I can't talk. This is a Coen Brothers production. This is the Coen Brothers, so of course I'm going to watch this. Got Tim Robbins, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Paul Newman. So that is an insane cast, and so I cannot wait to check this film out. I really don't know much about it besides the fact that the Coen Brothers wrote it and directed it, and so I'm just really excited about that. So those are my first 2 picks that I got from the Warner Archive sale. And yes, I don't have much insight to tell you about them, but I'm excited to check them out. Alright, so these next 3 have a theme. And I actually want to talk about the other movies that are not in this sale that I picked up with them. Or I have already, and so I finally completed them. Or at least I have one more shy of these. Okay, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about Hammer Horror. So if you know anything about Hammer Horror, I'm very, very new to this. My friend Daniel, who I've been on his podcast, the Gothic Cinema podcast, Cobwebs is his podcast name. It's really, really great. I was just on with Chris, who's been a normal person on this channel all the time. He's on here a lot, and so we did a 3-person podcast, and it was really, really cool. It was movies to check out during this whole quarantine, and so I hope you are able to check it out. Check it out in the description down below. Extra stuff. It's really fun, and a lot of his other things talk about Hammer Horror and other Gothic cinema. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Dracula films. So these Dracula films are the Christopher Lee Hammer Horror films. So I actually got the first one, Horror of Dracula, 1957. I have Dracula AD 1972 and The Satanic Rites of Dracula in 1973. So I completed these because, like I said, I have the other 3 prior to this one. So I have, Dracula Prince of Darkness, which is a Shout Factory, Scream Factory right here. Came out in 1966. And in 1968, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, and in 1969, Taste the Blood of Dracula. So I have, these Dracula films, but I also have another thing that I picked up that is outside of the sale that I want to share that is connected to this. So follow me if you can. The other thing that I picked up was this Hammer Horror 8-film collection. And so the reason I brought this up compared to this is because it has Bride of Dracula. The Brides of Dracula, and so this is actually loosely connected to these films. And so Brides of Dracula, I believe, is the second film of these 9 films, because the last one is The 7 Golden Vampires. Still have yet to get, and so that's the last one I need to get, but I'm excited to really dive into this entire franchise of Dracula. But the other thing is, I didn't have any of the other horror Hammer horror films from this. And so in this film collection, The Curse of the Werewolf, Night Creatures, The Phantom of the Opera, it's like my 5th version of that, Paranoiac, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Kiss of the Vampire, Nightmare, and The Evil of Frankenstein. So I'm really excited. During the 1940s and 50s, this is kind of this collection right here. So I'm just really excited to check out all of these Hammer horror films. And so I know that Warner Archive had a bunch of these, and so I'm just, I'm going to jump into it. I have a friend who I can talk about it with, Daniel, and he can really just help me, guide me along the way of checking these films out. So yeah, I got those 3 as well. So there's 5 of my haul, plus I also got this 8-film collection for a really low price on Amazon, actually. So go check that out if you can. So the last 3. The first one is its own thing, and so I guess I'll talk about it. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof with Elizabeth Taylor and Paul Newman. There's Paul Newman again, but this one's 1958. And so I've heard so many great things about this movie, and I'm really excited to check this movie out. I really have nothing else to say except that I'm just excited, because I've actually been, during this quarantine, have been watching a lot of films, mostly from the 40s and 50s and 60s. And so I'm just really excited to check this movie out. Alright, so these last 2 films are actually, I started this a few days ago, and so now I'm really excited to dive into this duo. This duo is Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. And so the movie I watched a few days ago was the first appearance right here. To Have or Have Not in 1944. It's loosely based on a Ernest Hemingway novel, and then Howard Hawks produced this and directed it. And so yeah, so this is a really great kind of neo-noir thriller. It's very Casablanca-esque, and I really like that. So this I watched, right? And then the last 2 things I picked up from this Warner Archive sale are Key Largo and The Big Sleep. And so 2 extra films that they came together with, and they actually were a married couple, and they met each other at To Have or Have Not. And so I'm just really excited to go down this road and just follow these films and really just see that journey. Obviously they're all different stories, but it's really cool to see that real life connection and why that chemistry works so well in these films. And so that's why I'm excited to check them out. Alright, so that kind of ends my little Warner Archive sale haul, and also my Hammer horror 8-film collection. I got these films right here. I'm really excited to own these movies. I'm really in the mood for cinema that's in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s at the current moment, and that's something I've just been kind of binging, and I'm just really excited to watch all of these classics. And a lot of these movies are like B-movies. Probably most of the movies in this are probably B-movies, but it's whatever. This is just a really exciting time, and yeah, circumstances aren't great, but that's how we're going to get through this. And so I actually want to hear down below, did you join the Warner Archive sale? Did you get up your haul? Let me know down in the description down below what you picked up, because I really want to hear what you picked up. And what should I watch first? Tell me what I should start with. I know I already have started with To Have and Have Not, so I could just go sequentially with that, with the Bogart and Bacall kind of series. I don't really know how to describe it, but I've been rambling for a while, so thank you so much for checking this video out. Give this video a thumbs up. Please comment down below, tell me your thoughts on the video, share this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. I'm not Jonesing around.